guys, for today's video I am filming my next update in my series of makeup I want to use up in 2021. So this is my year-long project pan. This is my fourth update, the last update before the finale. If you haven't seen my other videos, I will link my playlist. And at the beginning of the year, I chose a specific group of products that I either wanted to hit pan on or finish. And then I have an additional goal of finishing up, I said 50 extra makeup items, but basically I want to finish 100 makeup products this year. I actually don't think it's going to happen. Every other year I've not worried about it, but you know, I'm counting what I have. I'm trying to add in, you know, like my smallest sizes of things into my projects to try to finish more things by the end of the year. I think I might hit 90, but I don't think I'll hit 100, which is very sad for me. But you know, it is what it is. I have worn as much makeup as I can for someone working from home that does not put makeup on to be in front of, you know, the video camera, you know, at work. I'm only putting makeup on for videos. So I've done the most that I can. Last year, of course, I was at work for a little while until March, and then you know, there were a couple months where I was like rotating going in, and then when I got pregnant, I just stayed working from home. So I had a little bit more makeup usage last month, but anyway, let's not dilly-dally any further. So we're going to start with the things from my year-long project pan, and then I will go over the makeup products that I finished in September and October. So for the makeup use-up items that I finished, there were 3 of them, which is very exciting. The first is my setting spray. This is the MAC Fix Plus Matte. It was a full size. You can see I have a ton of markings on it, so it took me a very long time to get through this. And I really do like this setting spray. It's a nice mattifying product. It does have actual powder in the bottom like the Too Faced Peach Mist. So it does leave powder on my face. So I do go in with a little blending brush to just blend it out. It is a little bit annoying, and I don't necessarily think that this changes the game as far as like how matte my skin is, because I also use, you know, matte primer, matte foundations, matte powders. It's mostly, I think, the powder that helps keep me matte. So for me, I'm fine just using Urban Decay All Nighter, a long lasting setting spray, instead of a specific matte setting spray. So while this was fine, I would not repurchase that. And I'll wipe off all the markings so I can back to MAC that. Then, super exciting, I finished my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. I'll put a picture of where it was at the last update. And I wasn't sure about finishing it because I was just going through it so slowly. But it is done, which feels amazing. I have officially finished all 3 of the bronzers that rolled over from last year. Such a huge accomplishment. And next year, I've been thinking about panning a liquid and a cream bronzer, but then just rotating the powders to give myself a break. Try the things I have, because I have a lot. But this feels so good. I do have a backup full size my friend Jean gave me. I love the color of this. It's a great warm undertone that's not too orangey. It's a very light shade for me. Blends nicely. Really, really like this. Definitely happy to have that little mini used up, and do not underestimate minis. And again, because I'm so fair, I cannot apply too much bronzer or I will look insane. And then I also finally finished my Anastasia eyeshadow in Birkin. I had just a little bit left, as you can see. So happy that this is done. It is also something that was rolled over from last year. It's a huge accomplishment for me to finish an eyeshadow that is not a setting shade. Not that that's not also an accomplishment, because it still counts as a pan or a empty, but this feels incredible. I'm so happy I already had a backup. I am using it currently. My favorite transition color ever. I love to pair it with Bengal as a crease shade. They're both beautiful warm shades that aren't too orange, just work so well together. I love them so much. So now I'll show you the progress and the items that I have left. Not too many here, so hopefully this will be a shorter video. So my last priming spray I have is the original MAC Fix Plus. This is in my current fall project pan. I'll have that playlist linked in the cards. A lot of things here are empties from my fall project or things that are currently in it. So I am below this marking because I've used this 3 more times since my fall project pan update. So I'm really hoping I can finish this by the end of the year. I'm not super sure, but I'm going to try my best. Probably use this as a primer and a setting spray. I've done that once since my project and I like it, although I kind of like messed up my makeup around my eyebrows because I sprayed a little too much. It was a little too wet, but I love this product. Then for concealer, this looks very different from last time. This is my little mini Becca color corrector. And right after my last update, literally 2 applications later, I hit pan. And the pan just kept expanding, so I mixed up all of the product into the middle. Now it is up there on the side, so it looks totally different. I do think I took a before and after picture. If I did, I'll put it in. But I do think it's possible for me to finish this by the end of the year. I don't need that much of this. I can't use that much of it, but I still think I can finish it, which will be great because I really was not so sure about this. And you do get half the amount of product as you get in a full size in this, and this was a free gift, so that's a good value. Next, I don't know if I'm going to finish this either. This is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the 00 White shade. I'm using this right now to mix with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer that I'm using as a foundation. Today, I'm using the Too Faced on its own with my Derma Blend Loose Powder to Set, which always lightens my makeup. So I feel like my foundation already looks too pale, and I didn't use this at all. So I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. I mean, I just, you know, have product around the sides. It looks basically completely cleared out, but I need so little of this. I just don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to resort to drastic measures to finish this. Use this as an eye primer. I might try it and see how that works for me. I don't know. I don't want to waste it, but I'm so close. Ugh. Next is something else that looks different because I used it when I was repressing the eyeshadows I'm using to set my primer. This is my Illamasqua powder blush in Intrigue, which is just a matte white. So the pan's definitely expanded there, but I really haven't used it much. It's totally was just to repressing. This is something I want to finish next year. So I just was wanting to make progress this year. I can't take credit for that. Although I'm fine repurposing that to use to set my primer because it's such a good matte white. Then I also had my Hourglass Ambient Edit Unlocked palette. I was using Soft Light and Filtered Light as like a brightening powder and this one as a bronzer buffer. I haven't really used it at all since my last update. I have worn down the products a lot, especially this shade. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that well, but I can tell in person I've worn it down a good bit, but I like them. I am not gonna try to pan Hourglass products anymore. I'm just going to enjoy reaching for them because I'm panning so many other powders. It just felt like too much. It felt wasteful. And for something this expensive, I'm just gonna enjoy using it. And also, I don't think I would like the look of an empty pan and a face palette that I don't plan on trying to use up the rest of it. So I don't know, that's just a little weird thing about me. Then I have my Lorac Take a Brow Kit in the shade Blonde. This is something that I had in, I removed because I hadn't used it. And then I brought it back in because I was using this to fill in my hairline because I am having a little bit of thinning here from postpartum. I did fill it in today. Could have done a little bit more right here. I have not been consistent with this, but I've still really been working through it quite nice. So you can see where I was last time. This is where I am now. This has gotten very yucky. I'm using the darker color as well, but obviously mostly the light shade. I do think I will repress this so it's easier to use, but I will have that used up by the end of the year. I initially thought, or I guess last update, I thought I wanted to finish this, hit pan on this. I'm not going to use the dark color on its own enough to hit pan most likely. So my goal is going to be just to finish this lighter shade. And then I have 2 more backups of this. I'm going to use it in the same way. I'm thinking about maybe pressing them into a different pan to make it easier. But then I'm also like, well, what if I do that and then decide I actually don't feel like doing that step anymore? So I'm just going to leave it as is for now. I don't want to jump the gun, but I'm feeling good about that. The next thing is a freaking mess. This is what I'm using to set my primer, theBalm Matt Malloy. This is the MAC Studio Fix powder in NC20 mixed with a little bit of the Illamasqua blush or, you know, matte powder because that's a little too dark for me on its own and it broke. So I really need to repress it, and I'm going to mix in more of the white because it's still like a little dark for what I would prefer. So that was a sample size powder, but it was like a regular eyeshadow pan like this, completely full. So I'm not trying to finish that this year. I was hoping to possibly finish theBalm, but I've used one of these up before. I know how challenging it is. These are very deep pans. I repress it, it keeps going, which is great. I love using a matte white to set under my brow bone, so it's very likely that I will repurpose this powder in that way because they're both very pigmented matte whites, which I love. Matte, no shimmer, I absolutely love that. So I definitely need to repress the other shade here. It didn't press nicely the first time anyway, so I'm not really mad about having to repress it. I've been having a harder time repressing recently for some reason. I don't know if I'm just not getting the right mixture of the liquid or what's going on. Then I have my Laura Mercier Caviar stick in Intense Moonlight. And I also mixed in what was in the base of Laura Mercier Intense Rose Gold and Bobbi Brown Golden Pink. And it ended up being a lot of product because I used up every bit in that Intense Moonlight. I mixed in those other shades because this is a little too silvery for me, a little too cool tone. And because I used every bit of that Laura Mercier, including what was, you know, scooping down in there, it's still pretty cool tone. And it's just very slow moving. Whenever I'm putting my brush in here, I feel like it's just moving the product around and not like scooping it up. I don't want to waste it, but it's going slower than I thought. So this is probably going to be in my winter project pan, and I'm definitely going to finish it there. I'm hoping it's not going to dry out. These jars do a really nice job, and I have Inglot Duraline in case. But yeah, I'm bummed I'm not going to be able to finish it this year. Most likely, I haven't given up, but most likely this won't be finished. But that's okay. I've already finished 2 shadow sticks this year, and if I can, you know, start out 2022 by finishing a shadow stick, I will be happy with that. And this is, I mean, it's hard to see the progress. This is my Lemongrass Spa Peppermint Stick Lip Polish. So close on this. Now, I should have had it done by now, but honestly, I just didn't want to irritate my lips too much. So I think you can actually see it now. So many other times you haven't been able to like really see it because it was like white on white. But I probably have 2 more applications in here and it will be done, which will be fantastic. I do have a Buxom lip scrub that's in a stick that I'm very excited to use. So yes, this is very nice. I really like it, but I'll feel very happy to have that done. And I finished 11 other makeup products, which is great. And 4 of them are lip balms, which is like insane. I don't know how that happened. I promise you I was not eating them. So I have 2 little mini primers I put in my fall project pan. The first one is a deluxe sample of the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. Did literally nothing for me. Did not make me matte, did not smooth my pores. Like, this did nothing. I do not get the hype whatsoever, which makes me very happy because it's very expensive. Then I also used up the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. People don't rave about this as much as they used to. So many people said this was incredible for oily skin. It's not mattifying, it's not pore filling, it's a little like smoothing overall. I liked it more this time than I had when I used up some minis a couple years ago, but I'm not gonna purchase it, which is great because Hourglass is very expensive. For the most part, I have not really been into Hourglass things that I've tried. I finished up 2 mini loose powders in my fall project as well. The first is the Fenty Pro Filter Mini Instant Retouch Setting Powder in the Butter shade, which was just like a really fair neutral tone powder. I like this because it did give some nice coverage. It made my skin look a little bit more blurred. It was a nice powder that didn't make me too matte, but it wasn't dewy either. The only thing is that this smelled like vanilla extract, which kind of got on my nerves. It did dissipate, but not right away. But this is a very nice powder. I like it, but I have so many other powders that I love that I would probably reach for over this one. But if it went half off at Sephora, possibly I get it, but I do not need to buy any powders anytime soon. But I'm so grateful that Jean gifted that to me, so I was able to try it. Then here is another huge accomplishment for me. This is a little mini Benefit Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. So this year I have finished up 3 powder bronzers, a deluxe sample liquid and a deluxe sample cream, which feels so good. I actually scooped out all of the product from here as well to completely finish it up, and I really enjoyed this. This is a super nice formula, very easy to blend out. This is a discontinued product, and it really was like came out before its time because cream is all the rage 2020 2021, and the shade is off. It's very orange, but the original Hoola powder bronzer is not that orange. I would love for them to re-release this same formula, but redo the shades and make there be one corresponding shade for each of your powder bronzers. I think that would be fantastic. But really good formula. Feels great to have it used up because I've had it for a little while now. And like I said, using up those liquid and cream bronzers has motivated me to next year want to work on my oldest ones. I think it's going to be challenging because the liquid is a full size. The cream is a mini, but from other people that have panned it, I know that it's challenging and I can't go too crazy with that type of product, even with the way that I apply it under foundation. So anyway, it feels so good to have this used up. I just can't wait to show you guys my end of the year empties. Even though I don't think we'll have 100 products, I think the things that I do have, they just make me feel good, excited. A lot of things I can feel proud about finishing. Speaking of Hourglass, I used up the Arch Brow Micro Sculpting Pencil in Warm Blonde. I got this from the BoxyCharm Facebook group. It's a very interesting shape. It's like an oval, but it's skinny enough that this can be precise. I do think that this is like a nice middle ground between like Benefit Precisely My Brow and Benefit Goof Proof, just because I feel like you can use this to help fill in your brows as well. But someone that has skinny brows can use this to fill in their brows. I feel like I went through it a little quickly, but not terribly quickly. It's not super creamy though. I did have a little bit of it break off a couple times, which is irritating because I know this is pricey, but this was good. Has a spoolie on the other side. That was very nice, but Benefit Precisely My Brow is my favorite. I will purchase that over this, but it was nice to try something new, especially for the great price I got it at. Then we got my 4 lip balms. Of course, I have my EOS Smooth Stick and Sweet Mint, my favorite lip balm of all time. I don't like the spheres anymore. I don't buy them. The last couple times I have, I feel like they get little bumpies on them and they just like expire quicker, which is weird, but I never have issues with these. Love, love, love. The texture is just so perfect that I can reapply it. It doesn't feel like it's caking up on my lips. It's not too thin and slippery that it's drying my lips out. Just perfect. And then the other things I finished, I don't know how I got through all 3 of these. I think that some of these were not beginning to end. I know this one definitely wasn't. This was beginning to end. This was close. I think I may have started this in August, or maybe I finished the whole thing in September, which is possible. So anyway, let me just pick one and talk about it. So this is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask in Berry. I do not like lip balms that are anything other than mint typically, but I actually really like this berry scent. If you guys can get any of these little minis from Sephora or as a freebie with Belief, totally get them. Value wise, like money wise, I think they come out to be somewhere between like $2.50 to $3, but it takes me a long time to get through this, and the really big lip balms, I'm worried about them expiring. And I do have another mini of this. I did get the Laneige birthday gift from Sephora this year, so that I could have another mini of this. I'm probably gonna pass on the moisturizers, but this I love. But I did buy during the Friends and Family sale, they finally came out with just a regular peppermint, which is so exciting. So I did buy that in the full size, and it's gonna take me a long time to get through, but I'm excited to try that one as well. I really like the formula of this. I do think it is nice and hydrating, a little sticky sometimes, but I really like it. If I had to pick, I'd pick EOS because of the format. I have tried the squeeze tubes and it was sticky. I did not like it. It was not the same. But I really, really like this. Again, whenever you see a little mini, definitely snatch it up because it will last you. I do think that that would be worth 100 points. Then I used up my Fresh Sugar Advanced Therapy Lip Balm. I go through these really quickly. They're very thin, like in packaging, but also the formula is super thin. It almost dries my lips out a little bit. They always break from the base in these minis. I wouldn't even spend 100 points on this at this point, but when I do get them as freebies, I love to put them in project pans because I do go through them quickly, but no, this doesn't do anything for me. And then we have the By Terry Balm de Rose. So they have it in a pot, but of course this is the one with the lip gloss one. I took out the stopper, used up everything, but I'm hoping you guys can see. So guys, can you see like this inner ring here? That was all the products you got. The rest of this was excess packaging. So I went through this so quickly. The texture of this is very smooth. I really like the way that it feels, but the rose fragrance is so strong. I was like sucking in air. It was like drying my mouth out, dried my lips out because the fragrance is so strong. I do not know why luxury brands want to pound fragrance into their products. I feel like y'all need to move past that now. I know maybe you're trying to keep your mature audience that has the money, that has been buying your products for forever, but like, let's move forward. This just needs to be the balm to balm, okay? Get that rose up out of here. It's nasty, it is too much. So if I get another mini, I will pass it on. I really wanted to try the formula, which is nice. I am excited because I think this will have a high dollar value, even though it's not much product, but no, absolutely not. Takes the cake. So we have first place, second place, third place, and fourth place. But these are the ones that I would repurchase. So very happy with the things that I was able to work through, again, considering I'm wearing makeup about 12 times. No, because I don't wear makeup for my shop my stash. So 11 times a month. I'm impressed with what I've been able to get through, considering that before then I'd been wearing makeup, you know, between 28 to 30, 31 days a month. So I'm feeling happy about what I've been able to accomplish, but I will tell you I will be very disappointed if I don't hit that 100 by the end of the year, but I'm already telling myself that I'm not, so I'm trying to like accept it. But anyway, guys, I would love to hear your thoughts on the products that I used up today. I would love to hear what project pans you guys are doing currently. I am doing, like I said, my fall project pan. I have a month left in that, and I'm doing this year-long project pan and my sample project pan. Next year, I am gonna do my 4 seasonal 10 pans. I'm gonna do my sample project, my year-long project, and then I do want to incorporate a few other fun ones and maybe make them use goal projects, especially if I'm still working from home, because I am trying to balance using new things in my shop, my stash, and like, it's a lot to balance. So I think I would have to use a usage goal unless I go back into the office. So we'll see, but I want to do more collabs. I want to do more fun projects because I want this to be fun for you guys too, not just for me and how anal I am about the way I want to pan. So I want to spice it up for myself. I think it will be good for me. But I'm rambling. This was not supposed to be a 23-minute video, but here we are. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.